receives and shares much information through informal briefings, collaborative discussions, PowerPoint presentations, videoconferencing, and formal oral reports. Your employer will expect your oral communication skills in all of these situations to be as effective and professional as your writing skills. The goal of this presentation is to help you be a more successful speaker on the job. Writing a document and delivering a presentation both require you to 1. Research the topic, 2. Plan your organization, and 3. Choose your language and visuals carefully. There are nevertheless some fundamental differences between these two ways of communicating in the world of work. When you make a presentation, you must focus on these additional items: your appearance, your delivery, the complexity of your subject, the amount of time you have to speak, the audience attention span, your introduction, the layout of the room, and the technical equipment necessary. Your visuals need to be clear and easily seen in your business presentations. Your interaction with the audience, question, comments, and nonverbal responses are important cues to making a great business presentation. All of that being said, your effectiveness depends directly on how you make your presentation. Here are 4 ways to do that, along with their benefits and drawbacks. Number 1. Speaking impromptu or off the cuff. When your boss asks you to say a few words about the job you're doing or about the status of a campaign, you will speak impromptu. In such a situation, where you have no chance to prepare, you have to know your subject very well so you don't get caught off guard. The impromptu approach works well only for short presentations before small groups of coworkers. But it's lethal for other types of presentations. In fact, the worst way to make a presentation is to speak without any preparation. You may think your experience qualifies you for impromptu performances, but you only fool yourself if you believe that all you have is the necessary details and explanations in your head. It is especially dangerous to believe that once you start talking, everything will fall into place smoothly. 2. Memorizing a presentation. The exact opposite of the off-the-cuff or impromptu approach is a memorized speech. It does have some advantages for certain individuals, tour bus drivers, museum guides, or salespeople, who must deliver the same speech verbatim many times over. But for the individual who has to make a formal presentation, a memorized speech contains pitfalls, such as the hours you spend memorizing exact words and content. If you forget a single word or a sentence, you could lose the rest of your speech. And finally, a memorized delivery can make you appear stiff and mechanical. 3. Scripting a presentation. Scripting, or reading a speech word for word, may be appropriate if you're presenting technical information on a company policy or legal issue on which there can be no deviation from printed word. Most presentations, however, will require a less rigid approach to presentation. You run the risk of not interacting with your audience when you script a presentation. Moreover, reading a speech is likely to bore your audience. With your head buried in a script, you set up a barrier between you and your audience by not establishing eye contact and good verbal, nonverbal, and visual cues. Number 4, and finally, delivering a presentation unrehearsed. An unrehearsed delivery is the most widely used and preferred way to share information in the world of work. PowerPoint presentations are examples of unrehearsed delivery. Unlike memorizing or reading your comments, you do not come before the audience with the entire speech in hand. By no means, though, is this unrehearsed delivery the same as an impromptu performance. It requires a great deal of preparation. When you prepare, though, is an outline of notes of major points that you want to make. You need to rehearse using your outline or notes, but you won't have the actual words you're going to use in your presentation. Instead, you'll talk to your audience while referring to your outline to remember major points. It's much like I do these presentations or lectures in class. So let's look at successful presentations in review. This presentation has given you the information on how to construct and deliver a formal presentation. Remember, there are a number of ways you can deliver a business presentation. Choose the method that best suits your audience needs.